You're gonna make it. You're gonna get through this. It's your season to live. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get through this. It's my season to live. Sing, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get through this. Somebody cut it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get through this.
Welcome back. I pray that the worship encounter was everything that you needed tonight. We're going into the book of Acts. We're going to go to the 12th chapter, and we're going to start at, let's start at the 5th verse. Acts 12, verse 5. Peter, therefore, was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. And when Herod would have brought him forward, the same night Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came unto him, and a light shined into the prison, and he smote Peter on the side, and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself, and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he said unto them, Cast that garment about thee, and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. Didn't think it was true, thought it was a vision. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate, and leadeth them to the city. which opened to them of his own accord. And he went out and passed on through one street, and throughout the angel departed him. And when Peter came to himself, now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel, and he hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from all of the expectation of the people of the Jews. Let's skip down to verse 13. And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken unto, named Rhoda. And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in and told how Peter stood before the gate. And they said unto her, Thou art mad. They called her crazy. But she consistently affirmed that it was even so. And they said, It is his angel. But Peter continued knocking. And when they opened the door, they saw him, and they were astonished. For a few minutes tonight, I just want to talk from the topic, it's at the door. It's at the door. Somebody type that on the screen for me tonight. It's at the door. Now, I always tell people, I have about 4 best friends. You could keep playing. I feel like Pastor Clack tonight. I feel like Brandon Clack in my spirit tonight. His musicians, they played the entire service, and you'd be so engulfed in it. So we're going to test it out tonight, see if Chetty got the oil. I always tell people I have four really close best friends. I have a lot of friends. I have about 4 close friends. These are people that I talk to just about every day. And the older I get, the more I notice that my circle of best friends have somewhat changed. People I used to be close with 10 years ago, I'm not close with now. And I used to get upset about it, like, did I do something? Is something not right? Is there an offense? But you know what? I've learned the older that I get, that everything does not need reconciliation. There are some people that you fell out with, it needs to just stay there. Now, you know, for the first 2 years of our ministry, we was called the Bridge Church before we became the Bible. We were called the Bridge Church. And in my season of pastoring as the Bridge, I learned that some bridges you need to burn. I had a lot of praise breaks on burnt bridges. Because I was trying to figure out, God, how do I end this friendship? How do I end this relationship? And some of you are trying to put back together pieces. When God sent the storm, he sent that tornado to go right through that puzzle. Because some connections you don't need. And I pray that during this quarantine time and during this time of shutdown that you have learned that there's some people you just need to block and delete. And pray. Because some of you, y'all delete numbers you know by heart. Some of you need to pray, Lord, give me a spirit of amnesia for this number. I don't need to call him. I don't need to call her no more. And I pray. I strongly believe that God took these last 2 months of us home to really get our attention for a moment about your circle. I think it was T-Mobile a few years ago. They used to have something that said, what was it, top 5, fave 5? Fave 5. Those are people that's back, I don't know if y'all remember minutes. You know, you had a certain number of minutes. You couldn't wait till 9 o'clock to be up all night, to talk to somebody that you're not even friends with now. I like how the Lord just put that together. You couldn't wait till your minutes was unlimited. But this is time to reflect and recollect on what's going on. I just feel that we're in a season, and this is really prophetic for somebody tonight. This is not in my notes. But you're in a season where God is giving you a hard reset. You know when that iPhone starts acting up. Now, iPhone is the only phone I recognize. I don't recognize the demonic Androids. And I'm sorry if we have any Android saints on tonight. But I pray that during this season that God delivers you from the hand of the enemy. But on your iPhone, you're able to go into your settings. And there are many different kind of resets. You can reset your phone to the where it just your Wi-Fi and network settings, but you still get to keep your contacts. But some of you, what the Lord is doing right now is giving your life a hard reset. And somebody comes there and says, why are you talking about? I'm going to talk about this for a minute. Because believe it or not, 5 years ago, I had over 1,000 contacts in my phone. Now I probably got about 200. But I probably talk to like 30 of them. Seasons will cause you to change. Now it seems like if you look through my phone call, all you're going to see is Pastor Ayla, Pastor Ayla, Pastor Ayla, Pastor Ayla. Seasons cause you to shift in what you're in. But one thing I've realized is that the only constant person I've had in my life is God. I've never had to block God. I've never had to unfriend God on Facebook. I've never had to ignore his phone calls. I'm sure he gets sick of me and all my mess and all that he has to put up with me, but he still stays the same. He has never shut down his direct line of communication with me. Prayer is powerful. Prayer is your earthly communication with God. I don't know if anybody ever tell you, but do you know that prayer gives God legal license to operate in your earthly affairs? Prayer, see, even though God is all powerful, he's a God of order. So anything that God does in the earth, he uses somebody to do. Prayer moves the face of God, while praise moves the hand of God. There's a very familiar story with the Apostle Paul. And there was an evil king by the name of Herod, and Herod one day decided that he was going to arrest some that belonged to the church. And this included the Apostle Paul. And the Bible said that there was a great fear that came over the church because of the persecution. Now, I don't know about this new church now, but if we were getting persecuted like they was in the book of Acts, I know everybody said that we're at home now, but COVID-19, this ain't persecution like the apostles was getting persecution. I'm talking about getting put to death, getting put in prison. Paul was put in prison multiple times. And these men were doing a great work. See, I know a lot of you, you're preparing for the great work. But I want to let you know that with your assignment comes a complimentary attack. Every assignment comes to attack. And can I even tell you this? That if you're not under attack right now, you're probably not doing something right. I know a lot of you are home right now, and you feel like, well, God, it's just hard right now, but can I convince you something, my friend? That God has you where he wants you, and there's a blessing attached to the attack. I hope somebody's getting this tonight, because it's blessing me. If it ain't even blessing you, it's blessing me tonight. Because sometimes you feel like God is punishing you, but God is not punishing you. I told y'all Sunday that elevation sometimes comes with an attack. The next level comes with a test. So Paul is put in prison. Now he's done nothing wrong. He is imprisoned wrongly, falsely accused. He's just doing the work of the Lord. But what we begin to see is that the church, this is good right here, the church began to pray. Although fear came upon them, although things were not the way that they wanted to, the Bible says, but the church prayed. hope in this period of time right now that the church has been called back to our first love. What did Jesus? He said that my house shall be called a house of prayer. And I pray in this time that we're being called back to prayer. I don't care what stage that you're currently in your walk with God. I want you to know that prayer is key. Prayer is important. And we see that as the saints was praying, they were literally in the house praying. The Bible said that an angel appeared to Paul in prison. The angel told Paul to get yourself together. We're about to get out of here. The angel takes Paul on a journey. And the Bible says that when Paul opened his eyes, Paul thought he was just dreaming. When Paul came to himself, the Bible says that literally as they are praying in the house, the angel literally drops Paul in front of the house. He knocks on the gate. Knocking on the gate. Rhoda comes to the door. And Rhoda, she was just so excited, she didn't even open. She left Paul at the door. She didn't even open the door for him. Rhoda was so excited, she turns around. She goes back to tell the people as they're praying, Paul's at the door. They said, no, Paul ain't at the door. Paul's not at the door. You're crazy. You must be mad. Something's wrong with you. Said, Paul's at the door. The Bible says that they go back to the door. And literally what they've been praying for shows up while they've been praying. I hope you're seeing the correlation of what we heard on Wednesday night and what we're hearing tonight. I hope that you are hearing that when you pray, God is hearing you. God has heard your prayer. Literally, picture it. You're in the house right now. You're in your living room praying. And you're praying for God to send you $1 million. And while you're praying, Publishing Clearinghouse knocks on your door with a check while you're praying. I'm trying to paint the picture tonight to let you know that we're in a season of immediate answers. Literally, while they're praying, God sends an angel. There's an old song the church used to sing that says, just keep on praying. The Lord is nigh. Just keep on praying. He'll hear your cry. I want you to know, saints, keep on praying. Because he hears you. He hears you. And I don't want you to get worried because you feel like you're on, you have your own time frame, you have your own table. Just keep praying. Have you ever realized that? Could it be that this time while you're praying, God answers you? So why would you give up now when God is about to come through for you? It's at the door. Your miracle, your healing, your deliverance is out the door. It's at the door. I know you've been going through, but it's at the door. I know it don't seem the way you want it to seem, but it's at the door. I pray that tonight the word encouraged you just as much as it encouraged me. That I know you've been praying for things, you've been fasting for things, you've been believing God for things, but it's at the door. It's at the door. I want you tonight, for probably about the next 90 seconds, I'm going to put the mic down, I'm going to go and worship myself. I want us just to worship Him because what we've been praying for has been answered. I just feel in my spirit somebody's been praying for something for a long time. That you have just entered into a season called results. I know you've been praying. I know you've been fasting. But it's your time now. You weren't ready for it before, but But I decree and declare you're ready now. Come on, let's just take 90 seconds. Let's just lift up our hands and let's just worship. Come on, just worship. Come on, take this moment and just worship Him. Hey, hey, come on. Come on, right in your home, right in your car. Come on, just lift up holy hands without wrath and without doubt. Oh, what you've been praying for is at the door. Hey, come on. Some of you have been waiting for a long time, but just worship Him. Come on, worship is therapeutic. You already prayed about it, but worship Him. Worship Him. Oh my Shatananis. I pray the same spirit to fill in your living room tonight. This is your season. Come on, this is your season. Come on, this is your season. This is your season. Come on, I said this is your season. So move forward. Come on, you've been stuck too long. Move forward. Move forward. Hey, I decree acceleration is hitting your life. Come on, and you're going to follow Him forward. Hey. Somebody that's been stuck. I want to help you tonight. This is your season to move forward. I pray for you right now that those people that you've been connected to, that they'll just fall off your life. God make it easy, the disconnections in your life. I pray for somebody tonight that's been stuck for a long time. I pray that God will send a release to your spirit to move forward. The words of the song says, He makes all things new, and I will follow you forward. Listen, God is in the lead on this one. I know you've been led astray a whole lot in your life, but God is leading us this time. Father, we thank you for giving us the strength and the courage to follow you forward. Father, we believe that as we pray, we expect to see the results of what we're praying. We expect to see the answers. We expect to see the manifestation. We expect to see it. Oh, Mama Shata. And we'll follow you forward. We give your name praise, we give your name glory. Father, we pray for everyone on the line tonight, everybody watching tonight that has a special prayer request. We pray that in your name that you will answer us. We rebuke sickness, we rebuke all manner of disease right now. Father, let your healing virtue flow. We thank you and we praise you that you made all things new. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Come on, just worship Him in your home. Come on, take these next few seconds and just follow Him forward. Come on. Hey, come on. Let's make all things. Hallelujah. Yes, God. Come on. Let's worship our way out tonight. us to worship our